I played a song by Tony Joe White the other day. People seem to like it.
Laura Mae Jones, we're our neighbors a long time back. They live right down the road from us in a shack just like our shack. We worked in the fields together and we learned to count on each other. When you live off the land, you don't have time to think about another man's color. Oh, the cotton was high and the corn was growing fine. But that was another place and another time. They sit out on the front porch in the evening when the sun went down. Willie would play and Laura would sing and the children would dance around. And I'd bring over my guitar and we'd play into the night. And every now and then, oh, Willie would grin and say, boy, you play all right. And that made me feel so good. Lord, the cotton was high and the corn was growing fine. But that was another place and another time. I remember we'd hitch up the mules when Saturday rolled around. We'd always stop by Willie's house and say, do y'all need anything from town? And he'd say, no, but why don't y'all stop on your way back home? And I'll get Laura Mae to cook up some corn bones. You know they're good. Oh, the cotton was high and the corn was growing fine. But that was another place and another time. The years rolled past our land and took back what they'd given, and we all knew we'd have to move if I was gonna make a living. So we all moved off and we went our separate ways, and it sure was hard to say goodbye to Willie and Laura Mae Jones. Oh, the cotton was high and the corn was growing fine. Yes, it was, but that was another place and another time. The years rolled past our door and we heard from them no more, till I saw Willie downtown the other day. I said, y'all stop by tonight, and we can sit down and eat a bite. We'd love to see your children and Laura Mae. He shook his head real slow, spoke with his eyes so kind. This is another place and another time. Down the cotton was high and the corn was growing fine. But that was another place and another time. No, the cotton was high and the corn was growing fine. That was another
Gerry Anderson.
The cotton was high and the corn was growing so fast. But that was another place and another time. Good God.
That's Tony Joe White. I love Tony Joe White. That's a song called Willie and Laura Mae Jones. That's where he talks. That's Willie and Laura Mae Jones. The diction is not great. It's from an album called, well, it's a collection of albums called Tony Joe White Collection. I want Tony Joe White to be big again. Did you like Tony Joe White?
I like Tony Joe White, but as an opener, I would give that -3.
Well, many people feel the same way, and indeed other people do not. Tony Joe White.
It's a bad opener.
It's not a bad.
The song was a bad opening
I don't
song.
care. Tony Joe White, it says here, Swamp Soul, keep the great music coming. And then on the other alternative, we have a gentleman who says, if you like that, there must be something wrong with your head. Anyway, that's Tony Joe White. I think he's great. I was talk like that. You never understand how to say a word saying.
Gerry in Belfast said he phoned the programme that was on before you 3 times asking for a Monkees song.
Well, terribly sad news about Davy Jones, but I'm sure you'll be sick of playing Monkey songs all day, so I won't be playing any today. I never met him. Did you ever meet him, Davy Jones, or any of the Monkees?
No.
I've had a monkey-free life.
A gentleman called me just before I came into the studio, and he said, "Are you playing any Monkees songs today?" And I said, "No." He said, "What?"
I suppose we should, actually. I always liked Last Train to Clarksville. Is it on the jukebox there?
Yes. Well, he suggested I'm a bereaver.
Ah?
That's not bad. It's not
I had black humour. You know, we're famous for it here in Belfast. You know, black humour. I'm a
Last Train to
bereaver.
Clarksville are a little bit me, a little bit you.
No, I don't like a little bit me, a little bit you. Last Train to Clarksville, I always liked that.
The thing I don't like about Last Train to Clarksville is the end of it.
It just kind of fades out, doesn't it?
No, they just go. I think they try to become the Beatles.
Well, you see, they were very talented, you know, especially Peter
they
Tork.
weren't.
They were. Oh, they were. Oh, no. Let me just put the
All right,
record
go ahead
straight.
then. Right.
Let me put it, because I know a little bit about this, because I know people who knew them.
Right.
And I knew quite a lot about them the time when I was over there. And people talked about them, and I talked to people who knew the score. Peter Tork.
As actors.
Oh, no.
What?
Peter Tork.
Not as
and
musicians.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Peter,
they weren't.
No, only 2 of them. Peter Tork and Michael Nesmith were accomplished musicians. And they were very, very much respected in the musical fraternity.
2 out of 4.
Mickey Dolenz and Davy Jones were actors, but the other 2 were musicians.
Couldn't play anything.
No, they couldn't do anything, but the other 2 were excellent. They needed 2 really good musicians and 2 guys. They were the 2 funny guys. You know, the 2 guys that stand in the front.
I never warmed to them.
Well, I always liked them. They made a very good movie called Head.
Did they?
Very good, with Jack Nicholson, and it was not popular because they were the first boy band, and they were also the first boy band to say, "I'm not doing this anymore. I couldn't be bored of this stuff here, this crap. Let's do our own thing." And they did their own thing, and their own thing turned out to be very, very good indeed. They made a movie called Head, as I said before, which is very much respected, and even today it looks okay. It's far better than, you know, that kind of Hard Day's Night kind of rubbish.
Mickey Dolenz, I couldn't take to it. I always thought he was.
That's because he talked like that?
Yeah, I thought he was. It reminded me, like, there was a guy, was it out of the Bowery Boys or something?
Leo Garcia.
You know.
Muggs McGuinness?
Yeah, you know, I
Yes.
thought no, I just couldn't take
But you
it.
don't like anything.
I do so.
You don't. Name me one thing you like, apart from golf. Come on. Name me one thing. Dave D. Dozy Beaky Mick and Tits. Come on.
I like.
Come on. You like
I like Del Boy program. What do you call it?
Del Boy program?
What do you call that Del Boy?
Only
program?
Fools and
Only
Horses.
Fools and Horses. I like that.
What just call it? Del Boy program? It's fine.
Yeah, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, I do. I like Judge Judy.
Sorry, I seem to sneer. Go ahead.
I like the
Any of the classics?
The Front Line presented by
Pat. You do not, do you?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Did you actually sit and watch Southern politicians?
Yeah.
Like arguing about how much money they
Just to see what's
have
going
not
on.
stolen. Anyway,
Enjoy-
listen, never mind
enjoy-
that. That's
Mark
okay.
Carruthers.
It's all right. You enjoy Mark Carruthers?
What about Noel Thompson's new head?
I'm not sure I like it or
I'm not sure. I'm not married to it.
I think the jury is. I'm sure you're glad of that. The jury's out on it.
I don't know.
No,
I
I'm not
think
sure
it's all
about.
right.
No, it could be a mistake. Then again, it could be the making of him.
I think
You
it
see,
makes
we
him
don't
look
know.
younger.
He does look younger, but
Yeah.
do we want that?
I think we want a younger Noel. Yes.
Noel was the man who said the last thing we want around here is new faces.
Did he? No, he did.
He did, yeah.
He did.
The last thing we need around here is new blood.
No, he did not. I don't believe you.
You think I'd make a thing like that up?
Yes.
No, you're absolutely right. Anyway, let's start the program. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're
But
probably
you
wondering what this
still-
is.
you
Can't you hear me
I
starting?
asked you-
Can't you hear me starting the
I
program?
asked you weeks ago to ask Noel Thompson to get rid of the 2 big red bus seats that they have.
I'm not going to ask him that because those red bus seats may be close to him. They may have mean something to him. I'm not going to take a man's world down. I'm not going to pull a man's rug from under him by claiming that his red seats are a mistake. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to. Am I going to say something to you? I hate that jumper you wear. Don't wear it anymore. I'm not going to do that because that jumper. You may cherish that jumper.
It's just a seat.
I know. No, sometimes
it's somebody sitting on the other side of the bus they're talking to.
Sometimes people choose their own seats. I mean, he may have chosen that because he liked it. Now, I'm not going to take that man's pride away. Don't you know how these things work? Listen, let me introduce the programme to the people. There may be people coming to this programme for the first time, and if they are, God help them. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This programme will be on until 12 o'clock. Let me tell you what it's about. The number to ring is 08459 555 678. The email address is gerry.anderson, ANDERSON, at bbc.co.uk. The text messaging service is 81771. You're probably wondering what kind of a person I am. You're probably wondering what kind of a person he is in there. Well, I can tell you what kind of a person he is in there, but you probably wouldn't believe me. So let me tell you what kind of a person I am. A person has contacted me and said that I am very snooty.
You give that impression.
I can't understand that.
You give that impression.
But you see, maybe perhaps people's perceptions are not what they should be. This lady said that I walked the whole way through Robinson's Bar rather than walk round the corner. Do you know the location of Robinson's Bar in Belfast?
Yes.
Now, do you know where Blackstaff Square is?
Yes.
That is the back of Robinson's Bar.
Yes.
If you go into the back of Robinson's Bar and walk straight through the whole bar, it brings you out at the crossing, the zebra crossing in front of the Europa Hotel. In actual fact, if you walk around the corner, it's twice as long. In other words, if you walk through Robinson's Bar, it's a shortcut to perhaps the Great Victoria Street, right? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Not really.
It is.
It is. But you shouldn't do that.
Why shouldn't I?
You're abusing the premises.
I'm not abusing the premise. What am I doing? Kicking the chairs?
And think about people who've gone in there and they've paid good money for drink and they're standing and a guy comes, let me through. Just
I don't do that.
To make a shortcut.
But this is the whole point. I'm very inobtrusive. Now, imagine if it's raining.
No.
You're walking across Blackstaff Square. You're going to Great Victoria Street. You're going to the Europa Hotel. You're going to the Grand Opera House. You're going to
Excuse me.
Who knows where. And then you say to yourself, hold on a minute, it's cold and it's wet and I have no coat and I have no umbrella, or should I say no brolly. And hold on a minute, I can walk through Robinson's Bar and say hello to people. Hello, how are you?
No,
and go straight through. Never stop. And you go straight through and the heat is great. And by the time you get to the other end, you're lovely and warm and happy. And you've said hello to people. This person says that I walked straight through and looked at nobody.
I would believe that.
Well, it's true. I didn't know anybody. If somebody says hello to me, I say hello.
Right.
Why did this person not say hello to me?
What is the difference? Say there was a private dwelling, a house beside Robinson. You knocking at the back door of a woman's house.
Can I use your toilet, Mrs.?
No, Mrs. Can I walk through your house?
No, that's not the point.
It's the
do you know
same
what the pub is called? A public house. Do you know why it's called a public house?
People to come in and spend money and spend a little time.
No, but I'm an attraction there. People might go there and have a drink.
How can you be attraction when you breeze through it?
No, but people might go there and stand and have a drink in the hope of seeing me breezing through.
Yeah. No,
here's another person complaining.
You could at least go in and have a mineral or something.
I'm going to tell you something that happened to me yesterday. I can't name. I rang a chain store yesterday, right? A well-known chain store.
What do you need a chain for?
See what you did there? I ran a well-known chain store, right, which have branches all over Northern Ireland and all over everywhere, right? I rang up directory.
Is this true now?
This is true. Right. I rang up directories and I said, I'd like the number of so-and-so store in Londonderry, because maybe a Protestant, you know.
Coyle's department store.
Yeah, Coyle's department store in Londonderry. Right. The fellow said, yes, and he said, it's a number. He gave me a no number. I said, no. I said, I'd like a local number for the local store. He said, we've only got one number here. I said, that's okay. So I rang up the number and said, hello. I said, hello, I'm looking for Coyle's department store. I said, this is it. I said, I need to speak to someone in the Londonderry branch. Mm-hmm. And they said, we can't give you that number. And I said, why not? They said, it's ex-directory. I said, but hold on a minute. I said, I have purchased something from your store. I have made an arrangement with a gentleman in the store, and you can't help me. I have to contact him and tell him what time I'll be available, that kind of thing, whatever it is.
To receive
that. And I said, but he's the only one who knows the circumstances of my order.
Yeah.
And she says, I'm sorry, you can't speak to him. I said, why not? She says, because his number is X directory. And I said, let me just get this straight. You are in Coyle's department store. You have a branch in Londonderry. I am buying a piece of thing from your store in Londonderry, and you're telling me I can't speak to him. She said, that's right. What's wrong with the world?
You couldn't get speaking to the person who sold you the
No,
item.
no, I'm not allowed to
To make
speak to
arrangements for a delivery.
No, she said, you can't speak to him. I can't give you that.
So how would you, if you went over to our department store, over to Coyle's department store,
And ask for Mr. Coyle?
yes,
That's the only way.
Would Mr. Coyle give you the telephone number?
Oh, yes, he already gave it to me, but I misplaced it. And I told
you
her.
didn't tell us that.
No, but I told her. I said, he has already given me the number of the store, and I've misplaced it.
see?
She says, I'm sorry you've lost it, but I can't give it to you.
So it's your fault. Mr. Coyle did give you the telephone number.
Yeah.
See, that's why I watched.
But the man
Judy.
in England won't do that.
Yeah, the man.
But you see, everybody's not innocent. Here's this one. Here's something that I think I know something about. A gentleman writes to me and he said, I am a regular user of the TransLink service number 212 from the Castle Dawson roundabout to Belfast, which, as you know, starts out from Derry Stoke Londonderry. That's the Gold Liner Express. I have often got that. Have you got that? I'm sure you have.
That's just the bus.
It's called the bus.
Yeah.
On occasions, it is
Why is
difficult
it
to...
called the Gold Liner?
That's what they call it, the Gold. That's the Gold Liner service.
Is it not just the express bus?
No, it's the Gold Liner.
What's the difference in the express bus and the Gold Liner?
There is no express bus. There's only one bus. The Gold Liner.
There used to be a Belfast Express.
No, but they don't call it the Belfast Express. They call it the Gold Liner.
So it is the same thing.
Yes.
It's a Belfast bus.
Belfast bus, there are many Belfast buses, ones which go through Omagh and ones which go very slowly. And there's also a train which hardly goes at all.
Well, what does the Gold Liner do?
It's an express bus.
So the express bus to Belfast.
That's it.
Okay.
That
Tell
took a
me
while.
this and tell me no more.
On occasions-
Before you move on, how long does it take the train?
It's 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Okay, 3 hours.
Nearly, yeah.
No, I don't believe you.
Okay. Why don't you
Because
look it
the
up?
express
1 hour
bus
and 40
is,
minutes.
the express bus is now up to 2 hours.
No, it's 1 hour and 40 minutes.
It is not?
50 minutes.
I was on it last week.
It may have been delayed. They
2 hours.
They can't guarantee if traffic is bad. Sometimes they're delayed. But it's
2
usually 1 hour and 40 minutes. It's usually all things.
The
being
last time
equal.
I was on it, it was 2 hours and 15 minutes coming from Belfast.
Well, that's probably
2 hours and 15 minutes.
Well, sometimes that can happen. Yeah, but that's why it's a bad idea. You see, isn't it amazing that the two capital cities, not the two capital cities, the two largest cities in Northern Ireland are where? Belfast, Londonderry. Okay, the only way to get between these two cities is by bus. And it's ridiculous.
train.
You can't go on train. You can't go on the
You
train.
can. The facility is there.
It takes you nearly 3 hours.
It doesn't matter. It's still there.
It doesn't matter.
No, it's still
They
there.
close the station here
No,
at
it's
5
still
o'clock.
there. You can't say that the only mode of transport is
The
bus.
only logical way to go. The only
You don't even know how long it takes the train.
that's 2 hours and 40 minutes.
You're making that up.
Wait, check it. Who's there? What woman is there with us?
Emma, she's
Emma?
with child.
I don't ask her. She's pregnant. Anyway, here's a point. On occasions, on the bus from Derry Stoke Londonderry to Belfast, on occasions it is difficult to spot available seats, as those already on board, when the bus arrives, show great reluctance to shift over, move coats, bags, or whatever other paraphernalia they blockade spare seats with. This is a problem. People sit in the window seat and then they put all their stuff in the seat beside them, hoping that nobody says, "Do you know what am I talking about? Sure, I cursed at a baby once.
That's right. You do that.
I cursed at a baby." I know Derry people are notorious for their siege mentality, but perhaps you could let them know that us country folk don't bite. And as we pay more per mile for the journey to Belfast than they do, expect nothing more than basic good manners. Well, I'll be on that bus today.
Well, I would suggest.
And do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep the seat beside me free. Would appreciate it if you could air this on your show and promote the logo. One man, one seat.
Yes.
Signed, a regular Macherafelt listener who's too afraid to give his name after a brief but passionate encounter with a woman from Derry at the Castle Ballroom in Dungiven many years ago, and she might be still looking for me.
I would encourage people when you go on that bus, and should there be a dozen empty seats, if someone is sitting at the window with a bag beside them, take that seat. take that seat because you've got a baggage rack, you've got a place
No,
to
the
put
baggage
your
rack.
bag.
You can't get your bag in.
You can put,
You can't get your bag in.
You can put it down the side of
No,
the
you
bus
can't.
before
There is
you
no
before
side.
you before you get on the
But
bus.
then you take the risk of it being stolen.
Who's
See, if you put your
going to steal the bag?
a person going out.
No, or you can
take
put
the
it-
risk.
or do what I do: put it between your feet. That's what I do.
There's no room to put it between your feet.
There is. You put the bag down.
There's no
between
hardly
your
any
feet.
room to put your. It's ridiculous. You're sitting there squeezed like a sardine. There's no the lockers up.
They're
at the
quite
top.
small indeed.
You
They're
can't
quite
put
small.
Can't,
but you
it's
can
not- they're built so that you can't put anything in them, and you can't put anything between your legs, as the girl said to the sailor.
Yes, you can.
And you can't put it between your feet either. Anyway, let's stop. But this
Mary's
is so
on
boring.
one.
That's so boring. Why are you talking to me? You're so boring today, talking about boring things. Hello, good morning. That's because you were at
Good
a
morning,
funeral.
Gerry.
Good morning. Yes, how are you?
Good morning, Gerry.
Good morning.
Well, first of all, I have to say, 2 hours and 15 minutes or whatever it is from Belfast to Derry on the maiden flyer, as it's known, is absolute bliss. And I would advise all Belfast people to do it, those that have free passes, before Mr. McCausland takes them away.
Indeed, yes, he probably will
It's
do that
absolute
soon.
bliss going up round the Glenshane Pass and the heather up there to the left.
Oh, it is lovely.
Brilliant.
It is lovely, but the rail journey is even better if it was civilised.
I
Have
think
you
I
ever
once
taken the rail
went on it
journey?
and it took about a whole half day.
I know it's too long, but if it was, it should only be an hour and a half. But you go round, you go round Lough Foyle and everything. It's beautiful down the
It
Musselin
would be
Temple.
nice, yeah.
Absolutely.
But I
It's-
have to say the bus was great.
No, but that rail journey was described by Michael. What do you call it? Michael Palin as one of the 10 most beautiful railway journeys in
That's
the world.
right, he did.
And people they don't care about it here.
Yeah,
But what about the
true.
thing we had in our city the other day here in Derry, Londonderry? There's a sculptor called F.E. Williams who did a beautiful sculpture of two men. What was it, judo or something like that? To play playing. You don't say playing judo. Two figures of judo
Yes,
people,
uh-huh.
and they presented to the city. And his work has been displayed in the Museum of Modern Art in New York, and in the Tate Gallery in London. So here it's in the dump.
Not even in the new square.
City of Culture. Anyway,
Yes.
what can we do for you?
Well, it was actually something for Sean. This might get him a bit
Excited?
aggravated this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Excited, maybe. Well, angry, maybe. I was listening to Fox News last night when there's no other comedy on. I listened to Fox.
Fox News?
Fox, yes.
Fox?
It's
Are you
good for a
serious?
laugh, yes. Well, you know, you can.
People
you
actually
can
believe that.
Yeah, I know in America they do, yes.
They do. I can't
believe.
believe it. When I was in America, people were listening. I said, why are you watching that for? I said, hey, it's the news. I said, no, it's
I know.
not. No, it's not.
I know,
Anyway,
but
go ahead.
It's good for a laugh, you know, when you listen to just how biased they are and they're on whatever it
incredible.
is, they're in biased
Incredible, yeah.
ads. But there's a program on at 10, I think it's called 5. It's 5 people sitting talking. And at the end, they each have a wee snippet of the things that sort of upset them or whatever during the day. And the first one that came on, he said he was very sad at the death of Davy Jones.
Yes.
And he went on to praise him greatly and said that the Beatles were actually modelled themselves on the Monkees. So
That's very
you know,
that's very
that's
Fox
what you get
News,
on
yeah?
Fox, you know.
Yeah,
Yes, that's it.
Uh,
So I thought that'd be a good one for Sean.
That's a good one, yeah. That's typical of
Yeah.
Fox News, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. They adapt the things to suit themselves entirely.
I feel sorry for Americans, you know, because God love them, they don't know. Because what happens in
Yes,
America, is, as you know, the average American gets hardly any education at all. Because
Yeah.
the state education system, they won't put any money into it. So the average American, if he doesn't work hard and go to college, knows nothing about anything. He knows nothing about geography, knows nothing about the world around him. All he knows is about his own place. And sorry, go ahead.
There was somebody on the other day, actually some American who, I think he was probably from the Obama camp, who was saying that, you know, how little Americans know about this election procedure and all that's going on. You
They know
that people
nothing, no.
and the others, you know, England and all over the world know far more about it than actually the Americans do, you know.
The most
And it's
revealing,
true.
the most revealing thing is not in big cities, but if you go into a kind of a small town in America, anywhere in America at all, and go into a kind of a grocery store. I remember I went into one in Iowa one time in a place called, where was it, Brit. It's quite a large place, you know, population, about the size of Derry, I suppose, something like that.
Yeah.
I went into this garage, as they call it, and I said, do you have any newspapers? He said, yeah, over there, sir. And I walked over, and there was a big pile. It said the Brit Chronicle, right? BRITT. And And I said,
That was it.
That was it. I said, where are the other newspapers? Oh, there they are, sir. I said, no, that's just the local paper. Where are the other papers? Oh, no, that's all we take. There's no demand for it, sir. And nobody was reading newspapers. Anyway,
That's it.
Fox News, the Beatles were modelled themselves on the Monkees.
Model themselves on the Monkees according to them. So
Last
that'll
train
be
of Clarksville after news, right?
Okay.
Right? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Give another call.
Bye.
Bye.
Jenny skipped biology, stole Perry's deck of cards, went to David's East Wing dorm to play strip poker until dark, while across the hall old Robert Earl played one on his guitar out an ordinary Fort Worth Thursday night. With some homeboys on the jukebox and a pool cue in his hand, Marilyn Monroe leaned up against him now and then. And old Jamie got a lap dance from Plano's Princess Diane. Just an ordinary Fort Worth Thursday night. Just an ordinary Fort Worth Thursday night in this college town. Lining up tequilas, Shiner Bock, wash 'em down. Outside to see uniforms, looking for a fight. Just an ordinary Fort Worth Thursday night. Get it, boy. Now Dylan's from North Dakota, some Mohegan reservation. And Alice, she's from nowhere, so no one asks a question. If in class we're learning something, we further education on an ordinary Fort Worth Thursday night. Where we drink, rock, cuss, shock, and test each other's limits. And we ain't afraid to shake that boat to find out just what's in it. And we ain't ashamed we lost the war.
Next time we'll win it.
Just an ordinary Fort Worth Thursday night. Here we go, just an ordinary Fort Worth Thursday night in this college town. Lining up tequila, Shiner Bock, wash 'em down. Outside to see uniforms, looking for a fight. Just an ordinary Fort Worth Thursday night. Get it, boy. 1, 2, 3. Dear Daddy, send money. My books is old and worn. I need new ones, just a few ones. 30 hundreds will get it done. Dear Mama, sweet Mama, I'm learning so much here. It's okay with you and Daddy. I'd like to stay just one more year. 1, 2. Just an ordinary Fort Worth Thursday night in this college town. Lining up tequila, Shiner Bock, wash 'em down. Outside to see uniforms, looking for a fight. On an ordinary Fort Worth Thursday.
On 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
The BBC News at 11 o'clock, I'm Jenny Lowry. A leading charity working with older people says there could be circumstances where the principle of universal free transport for all pensioners could be changed. Age NI was responding to a suggestion by the Social Development Minister that free transport for better off pensioners could be cut to offset the impact of welfare reforms. Nelson McCausland said he believed it was time to start a debate about the future of free benefits like transport and winter fuel. Age NI's Chief Executive Anne O'Reilly agreed the issue should be considered.
We need to be thinking about how do we make sure that the resources that we do have go to those in greatest need. So the implication of that would be that people who can afford it, as long as we protect those who can't, then those who can afford it, yes, they should be thinking differently about accessing benefits and support like this.
The DUP have said that they remain committed to the scheme and have no plans to change it in any way. The police say a pipe bomb discovered in Londonderry yesterday was viable. A member of the public found the device in a green area close to McGill Court just after 4 o'clock. The army was called and the device was taken away for forensic examination. Chief Inspector Gerry Eaton said leaving the bomb in an area where it could have been picked up by a child was reckless. David McNary has declined to attend a disciplinary hearing of the Ulster Unionist Party tomorrow due to a prior commitment. The MLA resigned the Stormont whip when the leader demoted him from the deputy chair of the Education Committee over an interview he gave to the Belfast Telegraph. He remains a party member. Britain has shut its embassy in Syria and pulled out all of its diplomats because of the deteriorating security situation. In a written statement to MPs, the Foreign Secretary, William Hague, said staff and premises in the capital Damascus were now judged to be at risk. Diplomats left the country yesterday and are returning to the UK. Sport now, and Gavin Andrews is here.
Northern Ireland lost 3-0 to Norway at Windsor Park last night in Michael O'Neill's first game in charge. His side conceded 2 late goals, but the performance of man of the match Dean Shields gave the manager some consolation. The Republic of Ireland drew 1-1 against the Czech Republic in Dublin. The biggest cheer of the night was reserved for former Derry City winger James McLean, who came off the bench to make his debut. Mark Allen edged out Judd Trump 5-4 this morning in the China Open, but World Snooker chiefs have hit out at Allen over disparaging remarks he made about China on Twitter. He has since apologised. Finally, rugby and Ulster centre Nevin Spence is injured and will miss the Pro 12 clash with Edinburgh at Ravenhill tomorrow night. Ian Whitten replaces him.
And now the weather forecast with Cecilia Daly.
A dry day for most with some bright or sunny spells. The southeast will enjoy the best of the sunny breaks and temperatures should reach 14, perhaps 15 degrees. In the northwest, clouds will thicken this afternoon to bring a few spots of rain, but not amounting to much at all. This evening will become dry again with some clearer slots. Cloud, though, will fill in overnight.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
In Belfast, traffic's generally moving well with no reports of any delays. If you're travelling on the dual carriageway between Cumber and Newtownards, you should be prepared for delays because of roadworks at Blenheim Drive. And in Ballymoney, the Drones Road is closed between the Frosses Road and Knockahollet Road until tomorrow. Some flight delays to mention at Belfast International Airport. The 5 to 11 flight from Heathrow has been delayed by an hour. And at the George Best Belfast City Airport, the 10:10 Southampton arrival is now due at 2 o'clock. And the 12:30 Heathrow flight is expected also at 2 o'clock. Kerry Martin reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
On Talkback with Wendy Austin today, sentencing for sex offenders. 4 years for Daniel Curran. Does that sound right to you? We want your calls on that. Also today...
Hey, we're the Monkees, and people say we monkey around, but we're too busy singing to put anybody down.
We want your tributes to Davy Jones. Did you love the Monkees? They were the blueprint for the boy band. Is that always a good thing? Also, mixed marriages. Do they still cause division within families? Surely that's all a thing of the past. And banning lions and tigers from the big top. Should all animals be banned from circuses? Talk back at 12.
Don't be slow. No, no, no. No, no, no. 'Cause I'm leaving in the morning and I must see you again. We'll have one more night together till the morning brings my train and I must go. No, no, no. No, no, no. And I don't know if I'm ever coming home. Take the last train to Foxville, I'll be waiting at the station. We'll have time for coffee, belated kisses, and a bit of conversation. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Take the last train to Clarksville. Now I must hang up the phone. I can't hear you in this noisy railroad station. All alone I'm feeling low. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. And I don't know if I'm ever coming home. Take the last train to Clarksville and I'll meet you at the station. You can be here by 4:30, 'cause I've made your reservation. Don't be slow. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. And I don't know if I'm ever coming home. Take the last train to Clarksville.
I wake up in the morning with my head down in my eyes, and she say, hi. And I stumble over to the breakfast table while the kids are going off to school. Goodbye. And she reaches out, takes my hand, squeezes it and says, how you feel, huh? And I look across at smiling lips that warm my heart, and I see my morning sun. And if that's not loving me, then all I've got to say, oh, God didn't make little green apples, and it don't rain in Indianapolis in the summertime. There's no such thing as Dr. Seuss, Disneyland, and Mother Goose. There's no nursery rhyme. Oh, God didn't make little green apples, and it don't rain in Indianapolis in the summertime. And when myself is feeling low, I think about her face aglow, and it eases my mind. And sometimes I call her up at home, knowing all the time that she's busy. And I asked her if she could get away and maybe meet me somewhere, and we could get about to eat. And you know, she always drops what she's doing and hurries down to meet me, and I'm always late. But she sits waiting patiently, and she smiles when she first sees me, 'cause she's made that way. And if that's not loving me, then all I gotta say, oh, God didn't make little green apples, and it don't snow in Minneapolis when the winter comes. There's no such thing as make-believe, puppy dogs and autumn leaves, no BB guns. Oh, God didn't make little green apples, and it don't rain in Indianapolis in the summertime.
That's Tony Joe White. Lady says, don't listen to him in there. Tony Joe White is absolutely amazing. I've never heard of him until you played him. He's one of the great forgotten men.
I love Tony Joe White. Now, I was surprised that was Tony Joe White singing that. It was a great version of it. All I said was...
little green apples in the summertime.
All I said was the song that you started with was the wrong
Ach,
song to start the programme with. That's all. You could play that song now. You played the start of the programme. You could play that now. It was fit in nicely.
As a 40-year-old, die-hard, punkette, and Paul Weller fan, this is awesome listening to Tony Joe White. Please play lots more. I will even go as far as downloading on iTunes. Yes, you see, we've converted people. And
people are surprised that you actually played a Monkees song.
That was horrible, wasn't it?
Yeah, but if you should have played wee Davy Jones singing.
Why?
He's dead.
I know. Oh. But he's in there somewhere.
He's in there somewhere.
That was a terribly bare record, wasn't it? The last train to Clarksville. I hadn't heard it for a long time. Didn't realise how bad it was. It was hardly anything in it at all. It just sounds like 3 or 4 guys fiddling about in a garage. Gerry, I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed the version of the Beach Boys, the a cappella version of God Only Knows, that you played yesterday. I love your show. Why do I read this stuff? Can you please announce that tickets for the All-Ireland Club Hurling Championship Final on St Patrick's Day in Croke Park are on sale tonight? 7 in Lochkeel, Shamrocks, Gag Lochfield. Define snooty to the average delinquent that tunes into your sham of a show. In my book, it's an aloof, supercilious, snobby, stuck-up-his-own derriere, sort of me kind of a person. That's as good as a definition as any.
Yeah.
Describes me to a T. Gerry, I'm after a full set of plastics for a 1990 TZR Yamaha. Could you put it out in the wireless?
What's a set of plastics?
Full set of plastics.
What's that?
I have no idea. But if you use that accent, you sound as if you know what you're talking about. I just know what I have here of a full set of plastics for a 1990 TZR Yamaha. I was just a one owner, a woman, just a one-woman owner, a none too. She never put a foot in it. Only 10,000 miles up on her. As 30,000 the genuine mileage. Genuine mileage now. Gerry, maybe Robinson's was a right of way in the old days.
Tell me this: do boy racers or people, do they still buy spoilers?
I don't know.
Remember spoilers? Do they still do them?
I'll tell you the time the policeman.
I asked you about a spoiler, and I don't know what it is.
Tell you the time the policeman.
Is a spoiler a thing you put in the boot of your car?
I don't know what a spoiler is. Well, how would I know? It's like asking me about golf.
And what's the thing you put down at the bottom of your car along the?
A mat.
No, outside like No, not a step. A thing you attach something to the bottom of the car, the outside of the car.
It's called a floor.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah, it makes
a spoiler. Is that a spoiler?
I don't know either. But men used to send away for them.
Sure, men used to sell away for bull workers.
Me.
I know.
Me.
Did I ever tell you about the policeman?
I remember buying a sump.
There's no answer to that.
Yeah, I know.
Did I tell you about
a sump for a Mini?
That's all right. That's okay. Did I ever tell you about the policeman who stopped me, talking about boy racers? I was driving back from Dublin one time. I was flying in from somewhere. And you know that thing that you never do? You drive between Belfast and Derry at 2 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Do you know that thing that you never do? Because all the boy racers are out. Yes. And they're all flying, Gerry! And I won't tell you where it was, but it's a well-known hotspot between Derry and...
I encountered that. I know exactly what...
They're getting out of the discos about 3 or 4 in the morning.
I was caught in the middle of it.
It's unbelievable. Whatever you do, never, ever,
frightening.
Never, ever drive between Derry and Belfast at 2 or 3 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Don't do it. You'll never make it. Everybody in the whole world is out there all going, oh, Jesus! And there's guys flying around 100 miles an hour and throwing bottles of beer out of the car, slamming up against traffic signs. So I'm going through, you see, and I'm coming back from Dublin or somewhere, and I'm tired. You know, I'd been to America or something. I'm in the car, and I'm driving. I see all these guys all around me, and I'm going, what's this? And I suddenly realise they're all getting out of the discos and the clubs, and they're all mad. They're all the mountain men. They're going, Jesus, boys! And they're all doing donuts and wheelies, and there's beer flying around everywhere. Women
Why
wearing...
did you come in that way?
Because I didn't know any better. I didn't know.
Through Monaghan?
I came that way, okay?
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure I came that way.
No, but are you sure you were coming from America?
Dublin. I like to drive from Dublin to Belfast and then from Belfast to Derry.
Right.
Is that a crime?
Oh, no.
I don't like going through Ochnacloy.
I just wondered why you went that way.
That's why I went, because I like to go that way.
That's fair.
I didn't realise about that, the boy racers. So I'm going through this.
Shorter? Is it shorter?
No, it's slightly longer, but the roads are good. And I'm driving round, you see, and I'm trying to avoid these guys, and I'm terrified. And you see these lights coming at you, and suddenly they're on your side of the road, and then they're going back, because the guy's trying to grab some girl's leg behind, and then he looks around, he sees you coming, and he just gets over at the last minute, and you're going, Jesus. And there's nothing you can do about it, because you just have to sit there, and these guys are all flying around you. And I said, I better watch myself here. So I'm down like 30 miles an hour. You know, I really am. You know, I'm crawling along.
It's fast for you, though.
It's fast for me. But I'm crawling along terrified, and all these guys flying around. So gradually it thins out a wee bit, you see? And, you know, I start to go a wee bit faster, but I'm still scared because I thought these guys might be coming out of side roads, you know, because God knows what's going on up there. And then I hear the behind me.
Your wheel was loose. That sounds
No, it's the wolf tones.
That sounds like a loose wheel.
No, the police car. And
give me that police car again.
Anyway, whatever happened, the police car goes in front of me and stops. You see? And I say, oh, there must be something wrong. And the guy comes out and he said, you're driving very slow there. I said, yes. He said, well, why are you driving so slowly? I says, are you blind? Do you not see all these maniacs?
You said that to a policeman.
Yes, I did. I was angry.
You said to a policeman, are you blind?
I said, were you blind? Have you seen all those guys?
Are you mad?
I know, but that's why I was angry at the time. And I said, you see you walking. Have you seen all those guys driving around the road, throwing bottles of beer at everybody and on the wrong side of the road and going 100 miles an hour? And you're telling me, the reason why I'm driving slow, because I'm afraid I'm going to meet one of those guys. And he said, step outside. And he breathalyzed me. I said, do you ever think of breathalyzing those guys? And he said, show me your insurance, please. And all that stuff. And he never answered me at all. And everything was in order. I had no drink taken, of course.
That's why you said to me, you blind.
I know, but he never admitted that there was a problem
you should
with
have
the other
said
guys.
That. When you opened the door and they said, you should have been down licking his boots right away.
Sean, I can't do that.
Yeah.
As for the same reasons I'm not popular. I know how to be popular, but I haven't the stomach to do what's necessary.
Why are you driving so slow, sir? I'm sorry about that officer.
I can't say. No, I can't do that officer thing.
Can you not?
I'm sorry about that officer.
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry about... Oh, officer. Oh,
sorry about
Mr. PSLI man.
I'm sorry about...
I'm sorry about that officer. Oh, I'm sorry for going so fast. I'm sorry for going so slow. I'll tell you why I was going so slow. There's bad boys down there.
Yes, that's what you had to tell him about the bad boys.
I said, are you blind?
You did?
I know, but he knew, right? Because they don't want to go after those guys because the whole hassle. They go for boys like me.
Did he check your tyres? Did the policeman check your tyres?
Yeah, I did all that.
Good, I'm glad he did that. Because you shouldn't have been saying that to the policeman. Are you blind?
No, but you see, they don't tackle those guys because that's too much of a hassle and some of them might shout at them. So they go for boys like me because he thought I had a few jars on me. You see? And he didn't realise I was driving slow because I was terrified of all the drunken drivers.
You're a slow driver anyway.
Well, I'm not that slow.
No, you're not. You're over.
I'm a careful driver.
Yeah.
I don't want to be killed like you.
No, you
were killed years
ago.
ago.
Like passing buses.
Here's
on dual carriageways.
Here's a guy passing comment upon this programme yesterday. Great show yesterday. It must have been great to fly solo without him, watching your every move and pulling you up every time you're economical with the truth lying. Tommy McCat sat behind the Cullybacky Chronicle and said, ex-monkey, Davy Jones dies, aged 66. James Murdoch, son of his father, said, the law is closing in. I'm getting out of here. Bishop makes yet another apology. Oh, here's a good public interest story. Mother-in-law made me run away from home, said a 67-year-old businessman who was found hiding in a storm drain. Tommy bristled as he read the following story. Kitten free to good home. It's never pups, always kittens. Read something else, Tommy, I cried, as I sat in a wheelbarrow. The rest is all Titanic stuff, said Tommy. Where she was built, where she sank, and the old urban legend that the band played on. Poor Titanic, I said, lying in a watery grave, just like Joey, the first goldfish I had. It lay there for days. I just thought it was tired. Tommy looked all around, shuffled his feet, and whispered, sometimes now, don't get me wrong, sometimes I hate the very name Titanic. I know what you mean, I said. Unfinished business. A black cloud hanging over Ulster. Oh, will we ever find closure? I was thinking last night, said Tommy, as I lay 4 hours in front of a mouse hole, the only resolution and solution to the Titanic handling is to build another one. What a great idea, I said. The answer to get back on the horse. Build a bigger, better Titanic, and this time, don't stint on the rivets. Tommy ruminated. Not a pretty sight. And he said, but what if, God forbid, what if it goes down again with huge hoss of life? No! We'll radio control it, I yelled. On its maiden voyage, Titanic 2 will carry no crew or passengers. The steering brakes, the horn and the indicators will be worked by remote control radio. How grotesque, said Tommy. It's foolproof. No, soon Ulster will regain its pride. Just one thing, said Tommy. What if the radio signals sent to the Titanic are interfered with by taxis? We don't want Titanic 2 turning up at Spymount Street to take some woman to the hairdresser's. Damn you, Tommy, I yelled. Why must you rain on my parade? Why must you drop my ice cream in the mud? Why must you be so practical? There, said Tommy. Don't take on so. Tonight, whilst on Mouse Watch, I will invent a jamming device for the Titanic 2 radio. Cheer up, my little muskrat. The Titanic shall sail again. Ulster's pride shall be, well, regained. Overcome with excitement and gross stupidity bordering on thickness, I threw off my clothes and ran down the street singing, I know a secret, but I'm not going to tell you. The things we learn at school, never leave us. That's something you don't hear too often, classical banjo. That's Bella Fleck and the Fleck Tones. That's from an album called Rocket Science, and that's a track called Joyful Spring. Bella Fleck was here, I think, and nobody bothered about him, of course. Did you say there was a call there?
Yes, and could you say hello to the driver of the Cars Glen bus? I think it's bus 57. He listens to your programme every morning.
Oh, good man. Thank you.
Yes.
And just say hello to him? What's his name again?
That's what I didn't get his name.
That's fairly essential, you know.
Yeah, but a passenger phoned in.
A passenger phoned
in to say that the driver of the number 57 Cars Glen bus listens to your programme every morning.
Okay, I'm sorry we don't know your name, but, you know, that's just the way it is.
Hello,
That's show
driver.
business. Hello, driver. Hello, driver. A gentleman writes to me from Donegal. It must be hell down there these days.
Why?
Because you never know if it's summer, spring or winter. The worst time to be in Donegal is kind of March. Because, you know, it could be...
Emma lives in Donegal.
I know. That's why she's
Is
pregnant.
that right? Is that right, Emma? Emma says no. Talking through your...
drawers. Anyway, Frank here in Falcarra, in Donegal.
I remember.
Can't you hear me reading
I
up?
remember going to... What was the name of the hall in Falcarra?
Falcarra Hall.
I remember going to see you. And, correct me if I'm wrong, Emmett, did you tour with Emmett Spiceland?
No.
Wasn't you then? We went to see Emmett Spiceland.
Oh, hold on, I did.
I think you did.
I did.
Yes, I think you did.
Of course I did.
Yes.
Donald Lummy at the time.
They were in your...
What was the song they sang?
Marginelli
me,
Mary from
Jimmy
Dunlow
go go.
was their big one.
Marginelli me, Elby. What was the big
They
one?
were singing Mary from Dunlow then.
Ah, Mary from Dunlow. Yes, I don't know the tune of that.
Yes, you do. Oh, then fair.
The well sweet Donegal, yes, and Guidor.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So we went to see that. Do you remember they wore the big high collared,
Fluffy collars, yeah.
swallowtail coats and the big
big cabaret collars they became later on. Yeah.
So you were
people are still wearing those in cabaret.
You were playing in the Falcarra Hall.
Falcarra Hall in Falcarra.
Tell me this.
There used to be
How long
Donegal.
did it take me going to Falcarra? How long did we?
I wouldn't have taken you
from
long.
here, from Derry to Falcarra.
I would say an hour and a half tops. Yeah.
I travelled all that journey to see you in Emmett Spiceland.
God bless you.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't appreciate it at the time.
No, you didn't.
All those Donegal halls were very strange because when you started out playing music in bands and stuff, that's where you played first before you got any good, and then you travelled further.
You moved on towards the cities. Is that right?
That's basically You served your apprenticeship in Donegal. Yeah.
So what were you saying there about Falcarra Hall?
I was going to that later. But in actual fact, what used to do was one of the great... There used to be a place called Achiarn.
Achiarn, I thought, I'm going to tell you this now. I always thought that was a made-up name.
It's not.
Is there such a place?
There is, and it's notorious. And it used to be great because it's a lovely place and beautiful place, and I'm sure it's a tourist trap now. Donegal.
But whereabouts?
For God's sake.
Come on, tell me where Achiarn
I don't
is.
remember. It's
I
all
always thought
scattered
that
around
was
everywhere.
He lives up in Achiarn.
Anywhere.
No, made up.
We used to play there, and there used to be a priest there. Do you know what he did? See, at that time, the dance halls were basically run by priests. A lot of them were, not them all, but some of them were. And he used to patrol around the dance hall whilst the people were dancing during slow songs, and he had a stick.
I don't believe that.
I saw it.
No, you did not.
I saw it.
No, you didn't.
He didn't hit people with the stick.
No,
He separated them with the stick.
Not at all. Like sheep in a field.
No, you're not listening to me.
I am
Why do you say you don't believe me before you hear what I'm saying?
Because
there was
you
a
told
priest
that
there,
story before,
and he had a stick. And what he would do, he didn't hit people with the stick. People would be dancing around. Sometimes they get a wee bit, a little close. Well, he would just walk over maybe and perhaps just put the stick in between them. He did, and go, "No, boys, no, no." There were two boys.
I don't believe that.
I'm telling you.
I don't believe.
So how do you know? You were never anywhere.
But sure, you tell the story too about the boy with a foot.
I never told that story.
You did.
I told that story because it was a legend.
It's the same thing with a stick.
That's not I saw this. The priest, and what he used to do was every once in a while, there'd be a guy in there who'd be of the parish, maybe a wild man, a man who had too much drink, a man who would say something derogatory to the priest, and you know what the priest would do? Take off his collar.
Take the collar off the man.
No, take his own collar off. You know the thing he had, the dog collar. Take it off, and then thump the guy. I'm telling you. You know nothing. You've seen nothing. You see, what annoys me about you is you've seen nothing, but you can't believe that these things go on because you haven't seen them. You don't believe anything you haven't seen. If I tell you something that you haven't seen, you call me a liar. It's wrong.
Do you know, I'll tell you what's wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me.
You've watched The Quiet Man too often.
Where do you think the story? Do you think the Quiet Man was just made up out of nowhere?
Yes.
The Quiet Man is a series of behaviours that were attached to the Irish psyche. This is Irish. People are bullheaded and will fight with each other, and priests are like that. We're like that. They're not like that anymore. They do different things now, but at that time, that's what they were like.
There's a man wants you in one.
I would like to ask your opinion. What is spring? I am here in Falcara. I have no idea. I noticed last Sunday that the water in the shower was noticeably warmer. Is this anything to do with it? No, it's not. It's time you went out and had a look at the hedges. Hello, good morning. They're the same as they were during the winter.
How do you get to Falcara?
I don't know, and I don't care. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Gerry.
How are you?
100%.
Good.
Sean was on about the what they call the things in the bottom of the cars where those back years ago. They called them skirts.
Yes, okay.
You'd know all about that, Gerry. Skirts.
I do know. A skirting board.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they called them side skirts, and the thing on the front was called the spoiler.
Yes. What about the runner? Well, what do you call it? The runner plate?
The runner. That'd be a runner step. That'd be kind of... That'd be... Ahi Yarn. Do you not remember where Ahi Yarn was?
I don't.
It's outside Castlederg.
Well, that's good to know.
Does that not bring you back in years?
It does indeed, yes.
And all that thing they were talking about the priest is true.
Absolutely. You see, these people here.
Same thing happened in Irvinstown.
But you see, that's what's called normal behaviour. That's
That was
what happened in Irvinstown. Are you listening here?
I find this hard.
Call him a liar. Adrian, you're a liar.
I'm not that's true, Sean.
Adrian.
Every word that...
Are you telling me now that a man walked around a dance hall with a stick?
Oh, aye, that's happened. I've seen it happening, yeah.
He had a stick because it was a symbol of authority, and he never hit anybody with it, but he'd use it to tap people on the shoulder because he didn't want to walk in. These were narrow kind of halls. He didn't want to walk into the middle. He would just reach over and tap you on the shoulder. He'd like a teacher with a kind of a thing at the board.
He wouldn't have slapped you.
No, but if you annoyed him, he'd thump you. I've seen him taking off the collar and saying, "No, you don't care. No man talks to me like that. Come on, lad. Come on. I'll fight you like a man. Come on. I'll look the colours off now. Come on. Let's see what you're made of. You scalpeen.
Well, I apologise.
You little doodramon.
I apologise.
Come on, you scalpeen. Come on, put your fists up. Come on, no man talks to me like that. Come on, put your dukes up. Let's see what you're made of. There's the collar off now. What kind of a man are you now? What kind of a man are you now?
Sean, do you believe all that?
I believe, well, now that you're saying.
Oh, that is true.
Oh, it's okay if he says it.
It's okay, because
Oh, he's from Irvingstown.
I don't know where
it's all right if he says it. Well,
you
describe the scene for him in there.
Back years ago.
Yeah, what was it like? The priest, what did he do?
At the carnivals, the same thing. He went round that time. Remember the times of the carnival?
Of course, yeah.
Did he walk?
I was in so many carnivals that I used to think I was a Bedouin tribesman.
Excuse me. Did he walk in through the dancers, or did he?
He was walking round the side, right round the side.
That's why he had the stick. You're not listening.
Yeah.
He had the stick because he didn't want to walk in through the dancers as much as he could help it.
Well, it must have been a big stick if he could tap somebody out in the middle of the floor.
It was quite. But you see, these halls were quite narrow.
Well, that's right.
Do you know nothing?
Did he stand up in
Ask him.
A box or
Ask
something?
the fellow from Irvinstown.
Adrian, Adrian, you from Irvinstown?
I'm originally from Irvinstown,
right.
Yeah.
Well, did he stand up in a box? So
no,
he
did not. No, not at all.
Why would he stand in a box?
Did he see who was close to the girl? How would he see?
What do you think he is, a lifeguard?
If it was a packed hall, how could he see and how could he reach out?
Who said it was a packed hall?
I said it was a packed hall.
You made that up.
No, okay, when you were playing it was a packed hall, surely. When the chessmen were playing,
not always.
Packed.
Not always, by all means.
Well,
usually there would be a little space between the dancers'
when
bodies.
When Boyer was playing, or Joe Dolan was playing, Dickie Rock had to be a packed hall. What did he do then?
Will you listen to this man and stop? Shut up just a minute. And the priest went round and he would separate the dancers if he thought they were getting too steamed up.
That's right, Gerry.
Absolutely.
That's
that's what happened to Emma.
Up.
Was Sean never out at these dances, or what was he doing?
No, but he was looking at the boys.
Steamed up? If he saw a couple getting steamed up?
Yeah,
on
steamed
a dance floor.
Steamed up?
Yeah.
Steamed up?
Yeah. Why are you people laughing?
Oh, dear away.
You've obviously never been steamed up.
Not a dance floor. You don't get steamed up at a dance floor.
Yes, you do.
You do not.
I was often steamed up, and as a matter of fact, I used to look forward to getting steamed up.
Did the girl get steamed up?
Absolutely. Not much point in getting steamed up in your own.
That's right.
If the two of them get steamed up at the one time, it's good night. How's your fellas? Your mother's
The priest
still?
had a stick.
No wonder he had a stick.
No wonder he had a stick.
Why do you think people dance close together? To examine the fabric of their clothes?
What?
They dance close together, they get steamed up.
The man in question I'm talking about, I'm not going to mention his name, but he had a dowel rod. That's what he had in his hand. It's about 4 foot long.
Yeah, yes. Let's do all this.
What's a dowel rod?
You'll have to explain to me what a dowel rod is.
A dowel rod.
It's a type of wood, is it?
It's a piece of wood. Yeah.
4
foot.
You see, whenever
About 4
he can find no fault in what you say,
Right,
it becomes sarcastic.
You tell me what a dowel wood is, then, you Mr. Anderson.
I don't know.
Well, neither do I.
But I told you earlier that he would have a long stick.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was called.
A dowel rod he had, yeah.
A dowel rod.
Is that like...
And for John, well, tell Sean, we'll educate Sean. Sean, a dowel rod can come in different diameters, right?
Right.
From about 4 mil up to 30 mil, right? The one in question that he would have had was around about 12 mil, half an inch thick in old terms, Joe, right?
I prefer the 12 mil myself, yes.
And dowel rod is usually made out of a timber called ramin, R-A-M-I-N.
There you are.
So there you are.
He's not saying anything to you because he knows you know what you're talking about.
That's right, that sounds good to me. Is that like a stair rod?
Well, only it's straight.
Straight, it wouldn't be cornered, angled like a stair rod.
Beveled.
No, it's round. It's round. It's a round.
Yeah, I know it's round.
Yeah.
And what
There's
did
no
he do?
profile on
And he would use this stick and he would poke it over the heads of the
That's
dancers.
it. You know, and you'd be watching out from, but you'd stay to the middle, as close to the middle as you could. You know.
Well, tell me this then, Adrian.
Hi.
What if there was persistent steaming up? What happened then?
You head for the back door then.
Yeah, but
He'd take the girl's name and address.
Straight to the back door you go, Sean.
He put you out?
He would, yeah.
Oh, sorry, right.
No,
he would.
if there was
No.
Aye.
He'd put you. No, he would put you out if you persisted in
you
steaming.
would. Yes, certainly.
If the steaming became,
you'd be put out.
Reached boiling point.
Yeah.
If the top came off the hot water bottle, you'd be,
Good night,
you'd say, do that elsewhere.
Up your way.
And you were never steamed up.
Me?
Did you ever dance close?
Yeah, stop embarrassing me now.
Well, you never go out with a girl and suddenly, kind of, you hold them out a wee bit, and then you feel as if, kind of likes you, and then you kind of age a wee bit, you pull her in.
Hey, but
then the two arms go around the back, and then maybe,
But there's no man with a stick.
Say no more, Gerry. Say no more.
It's time to stop now.
Stop the hell. It's time
Thank
to
you
stop
very
now.
much.
Good. All the best, boys.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
That was becoming unhealthy there.
Yes.
It was heading in a direction that I didn't want to go. There was a man with a stick.
Our little army boy is coming home from BFBO. I have a bunch of purple flowers to decorate a mommy's hero. Morning in the aerodrome, the weather warmer, he is colder. 4 men in uniform to carry home my little soldier. What could he do? Should have been a rock star. But he didn't have the money for a guitar. He should have been a politician. But he never had a proper education. He should have been a father. But he never even made it to his 20s. What a waste. Army dreamers. Ooh, what a waste of army dreamers. Tears or a tin box, but Jesus Christ, he wasn't to know. Like a chicken with a fox, he couldn't win the war with ego. Give the kid the peck of peps and give him all your stripes and ribbons. Now he's sitting in a hole, he might as well have buttons and bows. Could he do? Should have been a rock star. But he didn't have the money for a guitar. He should have been a politician. But he never had a proper education. He should have been a father. But he never even made it to his 20s. Oh, what a waste. Army dreamers. Ooh, what a waste of army dreamers. Ooh, what a waste of all that army dreamers.
That's a great version of that Kate Bush song. That's by Mary Dillon, of all people. Army Dreamers. Some people saying Achiarn, look, is in West Tyrone, near Killeter in Castledirk. I thought it was in Donegal. Just goes to show you sometimes you don't know stuff. I remember that priest there. Did Emmett Spiceland sing a song called Bun Clody? Did they?
Well, I thought you toured with them.
Yes, they did. Donald Lundy play in that group? Yes, he did indeed. Yes, that was his first brush with fame. Gerry is correct, says Eddie. You obviously did not go to a parochial hall dance, spelled P-E-R-O-C. I had the same thing at school dances. We had the same thing at school dances, yeah, keeping boys together apart until it is inevitable. And Daniel Boyle says, Tony Joe White is God. I've never heard of him before, as I'm only 38. Am I your youngest listeners? Not by a long shot.
Eileen's on too.
Yes, hello, good morning, Eileen.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm very well, thanks. How's yourself?
Great, thanks.
And Sean as well, and Emma.
I don't know what he's like. It's hard to tell. Are you Welsh?
No, I'm from the west coast of Scotland.
Oh, good girl. You sound a wee bit Welsh. That's
Welsh?
strange, that, isn't it? Isn't that strange? Because, west coast of Scotland, west coast...
It doesn't sound remotely Welsh.
Excuse me, the microphone has been left on here. I'll just turn it off. Well, what can we do for you today?
I'm actually looking for a car from some of your listeners to see if they can help us out.
Go ahead.
My sister requires a turbo for her Volvo 640, S40, sorry.
Did we not get a man looking for a turbo? We had a man looking for a turbo the other day.
Did you?
Let me retrieve, excuse me. I have to go off mic for a second. Let me retrieve this. No, I haven't got it.
Sean will have it.
No, he won't. He won't. Each day that goes past just disappears into a black hole and there's no trace remains of it. You're looking for what is it again?
It's a Volvo S40.
Yes.
It's an 03 reg.
Uh-huh.
A 1.9 diesel.
Right.
And it's a turbo we require.
Okay. Now you'll have to tell me that again because my eyes glazed over. Now tell me that again.
Right, I'll tell you slowly.
Yes, do.
It's a Volvo
S40.
S40. It's 03 reg.
03 reg.
1.9 diesel.
1.9 diesel. Right.
And we require a turbo for it.
A turbo for it?
Yes.
Okay, I can't talk about this because I have no idea what any of that means, so I'll just have to take your word for it that you know what you're talking about.
Well, I don't know really either, but it's my sister's car, and I thought, if you're looking for anything, you phone the Gerry Anderson show, and there is always a load of people willing to help you out.
Absolutely, this is true, and good of you to sense this, and you're speaking through your sister.
For my sister.
That's what a woman said to me once. I'm speaking through my husband.
No, you've got it wrong. Eileen's sister is speaking through Eileen.
That's microphone. There's a fault with that microphone. It keeps coming on. It keeps coming
on.
No,
just leave him on a moment, because see, when you were talking about your story of driving through Belfast at 30 miles an hour.
Yes.
We used to attend dog shows over in Ireland, both in Dublin and at the Balmoral Showgrounds.
Oh, yes.
About 30 years ago. And I remember speaking to a friend from Ballycastle, and we'd say, we were going through, we kept to the speed limit. And he'd say, what did you do that for? I said, well, it's the speed limit. You've got to stay under 30. He says, you shouldn't do that. He says, we think you're throwing a bomb out. He said the police would be after you then because they'd think you were up to something.
That's absolutely...
Because everyone else was going about 50 or 60 miles an hour.
That's absolutely right. There was a time, I'd forgotten about that, you're absolutely right. There was a time if you went slow, if you obeyed the speed limit in Belfast, the police would stop you because they thought you had a bomb.
They thought you were up to something, yeah. That's what he said, and we couldn't believe it.
That's true. And the only thing that's like that was, I remember years ago, it's not like that now, of course. In Dublin, it was the same, because people in Dublin were notoriously lax about that kind of thing. And I remember one time being in a car. Let me just get this right.
Now make sure you get it right, because we don't want
No, I'm trying to get this
you.
Right, because it's quite complicated. Yes. I was in a car and a fellow was driving and went through a green light, right?
Yes.
That's normal.
At 50, yeah, I know, but it was at 50, right about 50 miles an hour.
Yes.
You see, and at the other side, or whatever it was, the Garda came up and stopped him. Right. And the Garda came out, and I thought he was going to say, you were breaking the speed limit there. But no, this is what he said to him. He said, you came through that light at 50 miles an hour. And the fellow said, I'm sorry about that. He was like you. Sorry, officer. I didn't realise the speed I was doing. He says, that is so dangerous. He said, do you know, there's quite liable to be another guy going through the red light at the same speed. And if you'd have hit him, you'd have been killed. That's what he said.
I don't believe that.
Do you hear it? See what I have to deal with? Okay, thank you. We will get your Volvo S40 03 Reg 1.9 diesel A turbo.
A good working order, turbo.
Oh, sorry, I didn't write that. In good working order. No rubbish. No tire kickers.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Not at all.
Bye.
There's a man who agrees with everything you say on one. 100%, he says.
Good morning, sir. Good
Hello?
morning. Good morning, sir. Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Your level's very low, Gerry.
I know that. Is that who I think it is?
It's Willie Crow.
Willie Crow. I haven't
Hey.
spoken to you for a long time.
That's right. The last time I spoke to you, you weren't very nice.
No, I never am. George Galway lookalike.
You told me I was. You told me I was silly.
George Galway.
Who's George Galway? James Galway.
Hey.
George Galloway lookalike.
Hey, George Galway's coming to the jazz festival
What jazz festival is that?
in Stroke City.
What do you want?
What I hate the way you come on and you tell yarns as if they're the gospel truth and they're not.
Well, they are the gospel truth. What's wrong with
You're
them?
on about Ahi Yarn and the priest.
Yes.
It wasn't Ahi Yarn, it was Ahi Brack.
Well, that's nearly the same thing.
No, it's not. It's on the
Where's Ahi Brack?
between Dunnamana and Plumbridge.
So anybody can make a mistake.
And it
what's
used to one of the best halls in Ireland for talent.
Really?
Oh, there were some fine lookers
musicians.
at Ahi Brack Hall.
So there's no difference between Achi Arn and Achi Brack.
Ahi Brack, they're two
Barn
different
Brack?
places.
Barn Brack?
See, all the girls used to come up and park in Finney.
Did they?
And there's some queer lookers down there.
Really?
What the priest was an American,
Yes.
and we used to like him because he sounded like John Wayne.
Really?
Would he be from Boston or Philadelphia?
He would be.
But
yeah.
he went round the hall with a big American torch.
Did he?
He did.
Oh, I never knew
Gerard
him.
was looking down and was up in the stage playing the drums.
But hey, hold on a second now. This could well be another character. Now, you can't come on and castigate me for making a mistake when this may be another set of things altogether. This is the American priest with the torch. I
Yes.
never talked about an American priest with
Father
a torch.
McKenna.
Well,
And if he saw the boy getting too close, he went over and gave him a jab in the ribs with the back of the torch and says, "Back up, buddy."
back
But
up.
you have to do it in the John Wayne accent.
Back up, buddy. Get
That's
away.
that's him. Back up, buddy.
Get away from that woman.
That's that's what he sounded like.
Really?
And he came to Ahi Brack for his last parish, and then he retired.
Did he go back to America then?
No, I don't think so. No,
He stayed
there.
He stayed and lived.
And do you remember the Hucklebuck?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, in America, the word B-U-C-K
Yes.
is sort of like a swear word.
It is indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So when that come out, he banned it. This is gospel truth.
Well, you see, the Hucklebuck was an old the Hucklebuck was an old American New Orleans song.
Yes.
Which meant something entirely different.
Right.
But of course, us being innocent, we never knew that.
Well-
But he knew that.
Well, we arrived, and they were all calling for the Hucklebuck. And he says, "No way. No way, buddy." And we said, "Well, how are we going to get round this?" So then he went away and he came back. He says, "I have a solution." He says, "You can sing the Hucklebuckle." That's true. And they're all trying to do the Hucklebuckle.
Don't lose your Hucklebuckle shoes. Don't lose your Hucklebuckle shoes. It doesn't scan. It doesn't scan.
And not only did he go round the hall, he went outside, out round and there were a car park, but there wouldn't be a lot of cars, a lot of bicycles.
Yes, indeed.
You know, if you had a new bike, and I said, "Do you want to go outside and see my new bike?"
Yes.
And he went out round then, shining the torch, and whooshed everybody back in again.
Get them out of the shook.
Get into the hall and get on the floor.
Get into the hall and drink your milk. Drink your tea and get your buns.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of that ditch.
That's right.
You hussy.
And that hall for Falcara, I played in it too. That's
All right,
down
then.
through Kilby-Crenan and on down that way.
I see you're in your anecdotage.
Yes.
Right, go away now. Thank you. You've served your
Turn
purpose.
me off.
Right, bye.
Lewis is a poem for you.
What?
Your friend Lewis has a. Lewis has a.
Hello.
Oh, Lewis, how are you? It's not Lewis.
I'm all right.
so-
I've got a nice wee poem called "The Departure Lounge" for you.
Okay, I'd like to hear it. I'd like
Well,
you to
it's
read
about
it. for
you
me.
know the way you work with colleagues and then suddenly they go away.
I know, that's what I hope will happen here. Right, go ahead.
Well, this is about
You remember I told you worked on the 7th and 8th floor in River House, and then I moved over to the 17th floor in Churchill House.
That's right.
Well, this is about the 11th floor.
Okay.
It's about this chap, and I've started. Philly doesn't work here on the 11th floor anymore. He's walked away and locked his door. There's no more soft, brown-shoed walking. No more lovely, intense talking. I go around town in a daze, missing his encouraging words of praise. This is about one of the bosses. Climbing the stairs, he won't hear my cries. He didn't stop long enough to say his goodbyes. I walk along the empty carpeted corridor and glance again at the nameless door. Into the office to sit at my desk, I hear the boss say, "For goodness sake, what's wrong with your bake?" A voice behind me says, "Did you know Philly boy's away?" I don't look round, and I don't know what to say. I just look at my desk where there's piles of files, and the burning tears start dropping from my flooding eyes. And I come back, Philly boy, from way out yonder. Please don't go away, and evermore wonder. That's it, Gerry.
That's very good. You know, have you ever thought of trying to get your stuff published?
Well, I was going to send some into Blackstaff. I haven't got round. They said they could take 6.
I think you should, you know, because, you know, when you look at some of this rubbish that's sitting
Well, I
around the
hope that
bookshelf.
chap, he might recognise himself if he hears this.
Oh, that's a real person.
It's a real person, yeah, and he was
Ah.
a boss on the 11th floor, and I used to, you know, sometimes when you were under pressure, it was nice to have somebody to talk to.
Uh-huh.
And I used to go in and sit in the chair and chat to him,
And he was nice.
and he would have sort of, you know, told me to keep going and not worry. He said the 11th floor was going to open up in a big way, and he might get me up to work on it, but it never happened.
It never panned out.
No?
Oh,
So you know, people don't realise in offices you work in the office, probably like there, and they don't realise their stuff goes on, you know?
That's right, yeah. All human life is there.
Yeah,
Dramas,
that's true.
love affairs, all kinds of stuff. Well,
Well,
thank
it
you.
wasn't like that.
Oh, I know that. I'm not implying that. But, you know, wouldn't it be good if it was? All right, then. Thank you.
Well, he was a nice bearded chappie, and I liked him. But anyway,
Okay.
thanks, Gerry,
Not at all.
for letting
Bye-bye.
me on. Appreciate it. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Some messages here. Sandra says, I am in my bed with flu, even though I am a woman. What can I do to help myself? Would Geordie have a clue? No, I don't think so. It's anyway too late to talk to Geordie. Besides, this is one of Geordie's days when he may not be himself. What day is today?
This is Thursday.
No, it's not good to talk to Geordie on a Thursday.
I think it's all right.
Geordie's weekend starts on a Tuesday and ends on a Wednesday the following week.
Could you play a nice wee song for Lily Brown and Killylay, for Lily and for care workers? Something by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, please. This is from her son, Gordon. Could you do that?
No. I'm going to play this. I haven't played this for a long time. I love this. It's by a band called the Dolly Birds, who are from Northern Ireland, and this is an excellent, excellent song. It's a great record. This will be the last we'll hear of today.
I never even stopped to question why. I took your colors, wrapped them around my soul. Then I noticed a dirty gaping hole. Then I saw what you had gone and done. You left me standing here with a smoking gun. Of all the things you could have said, you went and left me here for dead. You left me standing here with a smoking gun. Now your fading beauty's gone. wide open, nothing left to say.